Hi friends, it's good to see you again. I'm so glad you decided to check in with this message of hope. So we had a big weekend, right? Camp Widow is a really big experience full of sometimes super high highs and also sometimes really low lows as we work at incorporating the loss we've experienced into our lives. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to remind you to take really good care of yourself. Throughout the Camp Widow weekend, we've opened some boxes. We've opened boxes that have labels like, I miss you, like, I'm trying to figure out my life without you. You may have spoken specifically about your loss in ways that you've never talked about it before. And that might have brought up some feelings that will sort of swirl around. And that can lead to a dip in energy. It can lead to a refreshing of your grief that sometimes makes people think, why did I even go? So I'm just here to remind you of a few things. First of all, the journal that you got at camp, isn't it beautiful? This is a place for you to be able to start to talk about with yourself, yourself and you, your feelings from this weekend. So I really encourage you, if you're struggling with some of the boxes that have been opened, to spend a little bit of time writing about them. Even if the only thing you do is write down the words, maybe it's pain, maybe it's grief, maybe it's loneliness, maybe it's depression, maybe it's just the fact that you wish that you weren't widowed. Anything that you're feeling can be written down in your journal. Next, I want to remind you to take good care of your physical self. Have you been drinking any water? Are you eating well? If you live in a climate that allows you to get outside, get outside. Taking care of our physical bodies is one of the best ways we can take care of our mental health as well as our emotional health. So this is your reminder to be kind to yourself, and that means you might have to order dinner. Maybe you're just not feeling like making dinner. It might mean that you skip a meeting that is optional and you choose to spend that time taking care of yourself instead. It might mean that you have to ask for a little bit more help. Maybe you're in charge of kids and you really just need a day to yourself. Ask for help. Reach out to people who care about you and ask for help. For those of you who struggle with having a support system that's not as robust as others, I want you to think about ways that you can create that self-care time even if you aren't able to have the level of support you would want. So that might mean saying, okay kids, it's time for a 1.5 hour movie, and you put on a movie that's gonna entertain them while you take a break in the other room. However it is that you need to take care of yourself, now's the time to do it. This will allow you to let some of those feelings settle, to begin the process of maybe writing it, maybe speaking it. I want to remind you to stay connected to your widowed community. Those connections that you made at camp are not just about the weekend. They really are connections that will support you through the days, weeks, months, and even years ahead. These are people who understand the experience that you've lived and who will be your cheerleaders as you move forward. I also want to remind you to be extra kind to yourself. I know I'm repeating myself, I'm doing it on purpose. Be extra kind to yourself. A lot of times we set our expectations really high and give ourselves a hard time when we're not reaching the highest level of our potential. But the work that you've done at Camp Widow is important. It's important to your healing, it's important to your processing, and it really is going to help you continue that healing journey. Lastly, I want to remind you that even if you aren't able to remember a single thing that happened this weekend, two things. One, some of it's right here. So open the pages and you'll be able to read again the descriptions about the workshops that you attended, and then take notes, write down whatever comes to your mind about something that mattered to you then. But I also want you to know that the lessons that you've learned and the tools that you've discovered at your camp, throughout your camp experience, are going to help you 6 months from now, a year from now, 18 months from now, maybe even 5 years from now. You're going to come upon a situation, I promise, and you're going to think to yourself, oh, I learned about that at camp. So I trust that what you have done through this weekend by being brave, by sharing with your community, by participating in workshops, by opening the boxes that maybe hadn't been opened before or have only been opened once or twice. Through all of that, you have learned something that is going to serve you. And beyond that, you've become a part of a community. You're a part of the Soaring Spirits community now. You're part of the Camp Widow experience, that physical experience on site that you were part of in Tampa. And you are going to benefit from those connections. We are here for you. If you have questions, if you are in need of additional support, please reach out to the Soaring Spirits team and know that as you continue to rebuild your life, we are cheering for you and we believe in you. I'll look forward to seeing you again at a future camp or maybe by email. And please come back and visit this message anytime you need a little bit of inspiration or a little bit of boost of confidence that yes, you can make it through this and that the life ahead for you can be beautiful. Thanks so much for watching.